Mosaic, a daily news program from Link TV, presents a selection of news reports from independent and state-controlled broadcasters from throughout the Middle East.
An explosion occurred inside a Shiite funeral tent, killing at least 30 people and wounding others, in a city with a Sunni majority. According to eyewitnesses, a suicide bomber detonated himself inside a Shiite funeral tent in the Tamim neighborhood in northern Mosul, adding that the U.S. forces rushed to seal off the area and helicopters hovered over the site. The reasons behind the attack are unknown. The explosion occurred inside a funeral tent set in the courtyard of a Shiite mosque on the third day of mourning. With the escalation of violent attacks against civilians, it seems that the insurgents in Iraq are trying to change the direction the country is heading towards, ruining the happiness of Shiite and Kurd politicians who eliminated obstacles and reached an agreement to finally create a coalition government. The suicide attack occurred inside a funeral tent in the northern Iraqi city of Mosul, resulting in dozens of deaths and injuries. The victims of this explosion are many. The suicide bomber entered a funeral tent put up in the courtyard of a Shiite mosque in the eastern Tamim neighborhood. He detonated himself, killing a number of people who were paying their last respects. Meanwhile, others attended the funerals of those who lost their lives in the attack. The U.S. forces sealed off the area, and helicopters hovered over the explosion site. Mosul's residents are frustrated. They have not witnessed such an attack against the Shiite population before. Nevertheless, the majority of the city's population is Sunni, and up till recently, the city was a model of coexistence between the two sects.
Suddenly, we heard an explosion, minutes after the wake service honoring the deceased. Some people said it was an airplane attack, and others said it was a suicide bomber. I don't know. The
Mosul attack was not the only one to occur in the past 24 hours, but it was the most violent. In separate incidents, there were assassination operations in Iraq targeting a number of police officers. The source behind the attack will be known, amidst the customary statements released by Abu Musab al-Zarqawi's group, claiming responsibility for such operations. The Iraqi people are aware of the purpose behind these attacks. It is to interfere with the political process, in which the Iraqis have yet to see tangible results. Activists from the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigades, which belongs to the Fatah movement led by the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, stormed a meeting that the movement held to discuss internal reforms. They destroyed some windows and opened fire into the air before leaving. The organizers of the meeting were forced to cancel the meeting after seeing these images of disturbances, and because everyone who was present in the meeting was threatened to leave, or else they would be killed. The meeting was called for by some independent Fatah members, creating sharp criticism inside the movement. Abbas did not participate in this Fatah meeting. The level of resentment within the Fatah movement was intensified after those that resigned from the Fatah Recruitment and Deployment Office tried to hold an expanded meeting to members of the movement's offices in the West Bank to discuss the current situation of the movement and how to prepare for the 6th General Conference and the upcoming legislative elections. The Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigades intervened by having some of its armed men storm the meeting and force all the attendees to leave.
We are not trying to defend anyone. There is corruption inside the Central Committee, and there is corruption inside the Fatah movement. This corruption was caused by the same people who joined the movement when it was at its peak. These people do not have the right to make reforms inside the Fatah movement. We are the ones who have the right to do so. We are the guardians.